and welcome. This is Business at 9. I am Shibani Gharat. The Adani Group gets nod from the Committee of Creditors for the acquisition of Jaypee Associates. Adani Group scores higher on funding certainty, execution capability. My colleague Ankur Mishra is here with finer details.
Yes, Adani Enterprises bid for acquiring Jaypee Associates has got the highest number of votes of around 90%, but more importantly, the company has given a plan to give upfront payment as well as a deferred payment within 2 years, and that is why we have been told by lenders that it has got the maximum number of votes. As per the details emerging through sources, we understand that the total bid value is somewhere between 14,500 crore to 15,000 crore. But more importantly, the structure of the deal is important. The structure of the proposed bid is important. The upfront payment is there of more than 6,000 crore, and that is what the lenders like. There will be a deferred payment as well of around 6,700 crore, which will be paid in 2 years. And therefore, keeping all these combinations in mind, the lenders are getting more money upfront, and therefore, in the evaluation metrics which has been adjudged in the Committee of Creditors meeting, the Adani's bid has got maximum number of votes, and therefore it has emerged as the front runner for acquiring Jaypee Associates. Now, it is important to note that it is a court-monitored process. The bids will be submitted, the voting details will be submitted to NCLT, and finally, NCLT will decide who is the winner for Jaypee Associates.
On to some update from Supreme Court in the IHFL case. Apex Court has questioned the friendly approach of CBI and MCA in probing allegations against Indiabulls Housing Finance Limited, which is now Sammaan Capital. My colleague Ankur joins in with more details.
Yes, Sammaan Capital has defended the allegations put on them, which happened in the court. In fact, the company has mentioned that none of the allegations which were leveled against them have been proven either by investigative agencies, ED, CBI, EOW, or by the regulators, be it RBI, be it SEBI, and even ED is investigating the same. The company has said that it is listed entity and it has more than 4.5 lakh shareholders. The company has investors like LIC as well as BlackRock among them, and therefore the company follows all the due procedures which are there in the all these matters pertains to the allegations which were put on the company that there was routing and rerouting of funds through shell companies, and it happened on a PIL which was filed in Supreme Court. In fact, there was a clarification during the hearing which was sought by the court, and Supreme Court has said that it has made no comments. And I repeat, it has made no comment on the merits of allegation against Sammaan Capital. All these observations were made during the interaction with the investigative agencies in the court, and finally it has been decided there will be a meeting which will be conducted in 2 weeks, and the direction has been given to officers of CBI, ED, SFIO and SEBI to jointly look into the allegations. But on the other hand, company is vehemently denying it, and even Mukul Rohtagi, who is representing the company in the court, has mentioned that there is no allegation which has been proven by any of the investigative agencies.
It was a good day of trade on Dalal Street as benchmarks ended on a high note after a brief lull period in the morning trade. Nifty reclaimed the 26,000 level in trade today, recovering around 200 points from day's low. Nifty Bank also touched the record high level in trade today, ending above the 59,200 mark. In broader terms, market, it was a mixed day as mid caps posted a recovery from day's low, while small caps witnessed some selling pressure. Sectorally, IT stocks witnessed strong buying in trade today, with HCL Tech and Infosys rising 4% each. On the other hand, real estate and oil and gas stocks were amongst the top laggards. Well, now Ankur Zaveri, MD and CEO, Institutional Equities, JM Financial Institution Securities, believes that the long-term consumption cycle will remain intact. Let's listen in to why he is so bullish on the theme.
The long-term consumption cycle still remains intact. In fact, this with all the right directional and policy making that has happened around it, it has only helped bump the consumption to a next level. I think value retail as a story, we will see a lot of unfolding happening there as there is more penetration that will happen. Also remember that, the per capita income going up and the disposable income going up means that the value chain will also go higher. So suddenly the luxury and the premium luxury will also start looking very attractive. So it's it's place where you need to be. You need to be invested consistently. Whether you would ask me, is there a right entry point? I would just say that, you have to be there and, play with the valuation. So my sense is that, yes, long-term trajectory is there. It is hard to say that whether there is an entry point to this because, remember that Indian markets have been expensive and will continue to remain expensive given the flurry of financialization flow that we are seeing domestically.
AI valuations finally hitting a ceiling. The debate takes center stage as Alphabet CEO Sundar Pichai becomes the latest voice warning against irrational exuberance in AI investment. This as the street keenly awaits Nvidia's earnings. While the numbers are expected to be robust, valuation concerns remain. But how will this trickle down to global markets? Sneh is here to tell us what to expect.
Well, yes, so later today, all eyes are going to be on global semiconductor chip maker Nvidia. A strong set of numbers are expected for their Q3 calendar year 26. Let's understand what the street estimates are. $55,189 million is where the revenue estimate is, which is up 18% on a sequential basis. EBIT too, healthy growth is expected over here at above 21% on a sequential basis at $36,456 million. For net profit, the number is pegged around $30,880 million, which is an uptick of about 20% on a sequential basis, and EBIT margins too are expected to expand to 66% compared to 64.5% sequentially. Now, while this is the street estimate from Nvidia, all eyes are going to be on Nvidia's order book commentary, the commentary on chip manufacturing. Remember, lately Nvidia was in the news because its CEO Jensen Huang said that they're hoping to make a breakthrough in China in terms of exports too. So all of these comments are going to be important to watch out for. And also a few days ago, Jensen Huang has also said that Nvidia's order book for FY25 and FY26 combined stands at $500 billion. So this is also going to be important to get clarity on. Other than that, let's rewind a little and understand why Nvidia's earnings are going to be important for Nifty companies back home in India. Now, Nvidia's results, they set the tone for Nifty IT. A strong print could boost the sector sentiment in India as well. AI demand commentary is key for Indian IT deal pipeline. Strong Nvidia numbers, they signal good global spending in IT. So this is going to be positive for companies like TCS, Infosys and HCL Tech. Weak guidance could delay AI-led projects for Indian firms. Now, shifting focus to data center. The data center build out in India hinges on the graphics processing unit supply, and if this demand is strong, it means the GPU availability is going to become costly and it's going to become tighter for Indian data center firms. India semiconductor ambitions benefit if Nvidia hints at a supply diversification. So this is also positive. Nvidia commentary will shape global tech flows and impact FII sentiment towards Indian IT companies, and an upbeat Nvidia outlook supports AI hiring and talent demand in India. On the flip side, soft result may trigger risk-off mood weighing on Indian markets. So if you take a look at all of these factors, this is how Nvidia's numbers will play out on Indian IT sectors back home. Just taking a look at some of the top US tech stocks and how they've fallen off their recent highs, and the biggest one here is Adobe. 42% cut from its all-time high. You have Meta that's lower by 25%. So all of these stocks could also see a little bit of an up move if Nvidia, the sector leader, comes out with positive numbers. So ahead of its earnings, Nvidia was lower by more than 2.5% to 3%. Let's see what happens in the US market today and Nasdaq particularly based on how Nvidia comes out with its numbers.
Now, according to Gartner report, India's IT spending is projected to reach $176.3 billion in 2026, marking a 10.6% year-on-year rise. To get a sense of what will drive this growth and what are the key trends emerging in the Indian IT sector, earlier today we spoke to D.D. Mishra, VP analyst at Gartner. Listen in to the excerpts of that conversation.
Uncertainty pause that started in first half of H25 is easing, paving the way for renewed confidence and fresh investment in 2026. So that is number one. The other demand drivers are the Indian enterprises are expecting to ramp up IT budgets next year. And this growth is fueled by expanding adoption of cloud platforms and digital technologies. So that is also contributing to it. We have seen that significant increase in the data center investments in the past as well as in the current year as well, positioning India for AI readiness and serving as a major catalyst for IT market growth. So that also is fueling that sort of a kind of a projection which you have seen. Now, CIOs are also prioritizing the cybersecurity, AI/ML, and data analytics, and that is also contributing factor in this particular growth. Evolving requirements for data privacy and sovereign cloud solutions will drive further investment, and that is what we are expecting. And we have seen that DPDP Act has been implemented, is getting implemented, and there are AI governance framework which is coming up, which is going to contribute significantly to this kind of a growth as well.
Now, on to another exclusive. The finance minister met with BFSI representatives for a pre-budget discussion. What was discussed and what did the industry experts urge the FM to look at? Prakash joined with the exclusive details.
Well, in the run-up to the Union Budget 2026-27, the finance minister today interacted with the representatives from banks, insurance sector, and of course other financial institutions, where several recommendations were made. Sources indicate that the NBFC's representatives have urged the finance minister to provide a refinancing window for NBFCs for faster growth in line with the national housing banks. Along with that, it was urged to reduce minimum loan limit to rupees 1 lakh from rupees existing 20 lakh to invoke SAFESI Act. This facility is provided to banks, and NBFCs have urged the finance minister to provide a similar kind of facility to them as well. In addition to that, it was requested to remove TDS on interest income similar to banks. These are some recommendations which were made from representatives from NBFCs. Some important recommendations were also made by representatives from banking sector, where they urged the finance minister to provide a similar tax treatment on FDs in line with the mutual funds to improve CASA due to higher investment flowing into mutual funds. Banks are facing difficulty in maintaining their CASA ratio, and therefore this recommendation was made to the finance minister. Along with that, banks have also requested for higher income deduction after making NPA provisioning, which is limited at 8.5%. But the representatives have requested finance minister to increase income deduction limit beyond 8.5%. So these are some crucial recommendations which were made to the finance minister ahead of the union budget, and we can expect some of these recommendations could reflect the forthcoming union budget. Back to you.
And now let's listen in to the excerpts of an exclusive conversation which our colleague Anurag Shah had with Ratnakar Patnaik, Managing Director, LIC, on their Union Budget 2026 wish list and growth outlook. Listen in.
We want to pass on the entire benefit to the customers. We have done so. Similarly, for the agents, the commission rates were rationalized well before the GST amendments, GST modifications came. So we did not touch the agents' commission as of now, but such a big organization, we can surely do something which can take care of the whatever we are likely to lose in the form of input tax credit.
Okay, so what can be that, and what would be the quantum of input tax credit?
It is very difficult to quantify now, but I would like to tell you, thanks to Government of India, after the post-GST, the reforms, now the Q3 has been very good for the corporation. We are growing very fast, and hopefully this will help us to end the year with very good growth rates for the corporation.
Okay, so you mean to say that in a whole year, Q3 is going very good, and we have seen that most of your business in month of February and March, we see a huge surge in LIC's business. So you mean to say that in Q4, there will be a big surge in insurance premium because of the GST reforms, and there is no reduction in agents' commission?
Yeah, I am hopeful, I am optimistic. There will be good performance in the Q3 as well as in the last quarter of the financial year.
And you will be able to meet all your targets?
I am hopeful.
That was LIC MD in an exclusive conversation with my colleague. For now, it's time for us to take a short break. You don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Welcome back. You're watching Business at 9. I'm Shabani Gharat. Now let's move on to our other big exclusive of the day. Karnataka will achieve its IT exports target of 11.5 lakh crore rupees, well ahead of its 2030 deadline. That's the word coming in from the state's IT and Electronics Minister, Priyank Kharge. In an exclusive chat with ET Now, the minister also spoke on the recent acrimony between Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka, saying that the states shouldn't quote-unquote scavenge for investments. The minister also spoke to me at length about the upcoming Bengaluru airport, saying that a location for it should be announced in a couple of weeks from now. Here is a slice of that conversation.
Well, we are already achieving close to 5.3 lakh this year, and the idea is to double it in the next 4 years through services and through GCCs. And I think we will be achieving that much before the targeted policy deadline.
And interestingly, the policy also makes mention of a generation of close to 90 lakh jobs in the same period. But the question that I'm sure is on everyone's mind is that in the era of AI, and where companies are looking to shore down the number of jobs per employee, given that automation has come to stay, how viable is this target that you've set for yourself?
Just look at the ecosystem that we have built over a period of time. We corner 47% of all investment in global capability centers. And now, whether it is AI or deep tech, it's getting into various sectors as well, in every possible vertical. And we are supremely confident that we'll be able to achieve it only for the fact that we have that kind of human resource here, that kind of talent pool availability here, that is not catering to the Bengaluru ecosystem alone. Now, if you look at the program that we have devised, the Nipuna program, it says skill locally, work globally. So why can't people who are being skilled in Bengaluru work in Brussels, Brisbane, Britain, anywhere across the globe? And people are looking for our talent pool. And we want to ensure that our reskilling and upskilling programs make our human resource the most employable talent pool in the world.
Right.
So if you ask me, that this too we will be able to achieve in the next couple of years.
Speaking of competition and SOPs as well, there's been a lot of acrimony in the recent past, especially on social media with regard to Andhra's investments. Retorts from yourself, also Tamil Nadu, taking some criticism on account of losing that South Korean footwear brand to Andhra. The competition is heating up among South Indian states. But I have to ask you, is this good for competitive federalism? We've spoken about it a long time, but the fact that there is so much acrimony with regard to these attractions itself, even considering the fact that Andhra is truly part of the NDA, and that could perhaps add to the political flavor that these discourses bring. I saw Mr. PTR here yesterday, your counterpart from Tamil Nadu. So while I understand there is some bonhomie and some warmth, is there also some acrimony between these states and their competition for investments?
No, see, of course there will be competition for investments. All of our vying for the same piece of the pie.
Sure, but the acrimony of it.
Yeah, I mean, see, what happens is we need to see where it's coming from. You cannot scavenge for investments based on somebody's, tweet or anything. Let's be fair. Let us pitch, like you pitch, them pitch. and may the best man win. No problems with that. But looking at, just because somebody complains on a pothole, you pick that up and say that, okay, look, this is what, you can come here, we will do this. Or there's some other social problem, you pick that up and say that that's scavenging for investments, right? We have never done that, and we don't need to do that. But it all depends on who is leading, who is heading the state. But we're not afraid of competition. We thrive in it. In fact, we've excelled in it. And data speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
And we wish them well. I mean, if Chennai is trying to break the mold on startups, so be it. I mean, ultimately it benefits the country. If Vizag is trying to compete with Bengaluru, so that's their aspirational. We don't aspire to be them. They aspire to be us. That's good for us, right? And it's like you said, it also works on which side of the political fence you are on.
Absolutely. And keeping with investment itself, Bengaluru's second airport has been of great interest, especially with regard to the context by the state leadership just yesterday. 3 locations, I believe, have been identified. South Bengaluru right now seems to be the front runner. If you could just give us some insight on where the government is heading with regard to this decision making.
We have formed an expert committee to see how logistically it will be good for the movement of passengers as well as cargo, and how connectivity will be better, and more importantly, decongest Bengaluru. Right now, there's nothing in the South Bengaluru, or do we need to do it in the central Karnataka or something like that? So there are 3-4 locations that have been identified, and the expert committee is going to decide that soon, probably in a few weeks' time.
That was Karnataka IT Minister Priyank Khadge speaking about how the two states, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka, shouldn't scavenge at each other. Now, more important development coming in from Bihar. JDU Supremo Nitish Kumar, who resigned as the head of outgoing NDA government today, will take oath as Chief Minister for a record 10th time at Patna's historic Gandhi Maidan tomorrow. Several top NDA leaders, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, and Chief Minister of various states are expected to attend the ceremony. Now moving on, gangster Anmol Bishnoi, brother of the notorious gangster Lawrence Bishnoi, was extradited to India from US today. He is the key accused in the murder of NCP leader Baba Siddiqui. The gangster has been sent to 11 days of NIA custody. With that, it's a wrap on Business at 9. Thank you so much for joining in. Goodbye.
Adanis have definitely taken a lead in setting up world-class projects and executing them on time and creating cash flows and then encashing it.
For investors in Israel are very interested in the Indian market.
Right.
And so far it has been very cumbersome to buy stocks here.
Already achieving close to 5.3 lakh this year, and the idea is to double it in the next 4 years through services and through GCCs. And I think we will be achieving that much before the targeted policy deadline.
I would say you could probably trade out of some of the hotel stocks because the valuations are not very cheap. More positive on consumer discretionary than consumer staples.
It's not only the data center, but the real estate associated with it in terms of technology, in terms of the infrastructure overall. So I think the opportunity will unfold over the next 3, 4, 5 years as we start seeing that build-up happening on data centers.
India, too, benefited in the last 3 years. We grew our EBITDA by 400 basis points. As our tailwinds continue to grow in the future, this kind of, let's call it underlying profit margin improvement is going to continue.
New India Assurance has been growing across most clients, and on health, as a lot of things the industry is doing, and maybe it is work in progress. There are positive developments, and we're very happy that the industries got together.
In that, significant increase in the data center investment investments in the past as well as in the current year as well, serving as a major catalyst for IT market.
The demand for premium luxury bigger homes is still there. It's still strong.
We will be waiting to see the details and we shall do the needful at the right time. We are open to the idea, but we shall see what we are good at